Experiment time. I'm going to do the Robert Monroe Gateway tapes. I'm going to do one a day, and then I'm going to report anything interesting that happened after each session. I'm going to start with the first one right now, and I'll get back to you to see how it went. Let's get started. Hey, so I just finished the first tape for the Robert Monroe Institute. It was tape 1 of Discovery. I guess I could go step by step to how that felt. So it all started where he said, hey, if you're hearing this correctly with headphones on, I have my earbuds on, then you should be hearing my voice coming out through your right ear. And I did, so I knew it was going good. And then he played some like ocean surf, so like waves going whoosh, and that was nice. And he said, you need to get in a comfortable position now. So I did the whole pillow under my legs, middle of my knees trick with a pillow under my head on the floor in the living room to try to get in as comfortable of a position as I possibly could, because the more comfortable and relaxed your body is, the more likely you will have more profound experience. So I was able to get into as close of a relaxed state as I possibly could, and when I was done, he played a signal in my right ear and then a signal in my left ear, and then he played them both at the same time, creating what I can only describe as a vibrational kind of wah 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 sound. And he described this sound as hemisync, where when you listen to two different frequencies playing on either side of your ear at once, it creates a single frequency known as a hemisync that your brain synthesizes on its own. So I was listening to this, then he described to create an energy conversion box and put your anxiety, worries, and concerns in the metaphorical box in your mind, and then close the heavy lid, and then leave those behind so you could focus on a pure state of simply just being. So I did that, and it kind of worked, but even after putting all the energy, anxieties, and concerns in the box, every now and then my mind would bring up, well, maybe there's that thing I should do, and I had to kind of ignore it a little to try to get into that pure state of simply just being. It's a little tough because, you know, my mind's always racing, so I'm always thinking of different things at any given moment. So yeah, it was a interesting little experiment there. And then afterwards, I remember I was getting into a state of profound relaxation where I was listening to what he called resonant tuning, where there was like this weird, what I can only describe as a spiritual hum playing in the background with the two binaural beats going off at the same time. And it was sort of like a oh. And he said, you need to hum to the hum in the audio, so that way you can, you know, do something called resonant tuning, which apparently is supposed to put your mind at more of a calmer, less anxiety, even more relaxed state, is what I gather from doing that based on what he described, I believe. And so I did that. You know, you had to breathe in and then breathe out. And he specifically said when you breathe in, you have to have your eyes open when you're in the relaxed position. And then when you breathe out, you have to close your eyes. And he describes breathing as bringing new energy into your body. He describes breathing out as taking out old energy out of your body. And then when you breathe out in the resonant tuning section, you have to hum to the tune of the spiritual humming to get into that more relaxed state, I suppose. And then after that, he said, I'll leave you now to experience this new state of being. And so it was just kind of sitting there. I suppose I felt very relaxed. I was very calm, in a state of peace, and a state that I can only describe as what my body feels like when it's about to go to sleep, but it's not quite there yet. It's sort of in a transitional state where it's in between being awake and being asleep, but sort of kind of like in an awkward middle where I'm still aware I'm lying on the floor and I have my eyes closed, and I'm, trying to get into, I guess, a more meditative state, but not so much as to where I start going deeper than beyond being aware of that. And then the exercise completed around that time. I think he said like focus 3, and I'm going to count to 3 and you should be in an even deeper state of relaxation. And then after that, he said like open your eyes, you should feel more rejuvenated. And so I did, and I guess I do feel a bit more rejuvenated after doing that little experiment. My mind does feel a little like slightly on the fritz. I feel like I should probably do a few chores around the house right now, like laundry and maybe work on a project that I've been neglecting, like a creative project. But in terms of just absorbing that whole experience, it was very interesting. Part of me kind of wants to do another one immediately right after, but another part of me feels like I should do a few other things around the house before I commit to that. So maybe I'll do one later today and report on that. But for now, that was my experience with the first tape of the gateway process, and I'll update when I continue. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you when I experience the next tape. Bye.